I didn't have a whole lot of money, but you promised, honey, that that little dog cat coin was gonna blast. And everybody sold in my coins down heavy, and the Twitter X gang is loony. I lost all the little dough I had. Stop putting my bags. Stop putting my bags. I used to have a little bit of money, but now I'm down real bad and I'm feeling sad. Oh, I'm feeling sad. So please won't you stop putting my bags. They said to hold tight when the price went baloney. Diamond had that bunny, cute, furry, funny little meme coins, what they said. But I'm the fool, steel bag holding. It don't feel so golden, 'cause deep inside I hope my bags come back. Stop putting my bags. Stop putting my bags. I used to have a little bit of money, but now I'm down real bad and I'm feeling sad. Oh, I'm feeling sad. So please won't you stop putting my bags. Please won't you stop putting my bags. I'm tired of winning. Stop putting my bags. Please stop flooding my bags, Pulsechain.
What the hex is going on, ladies and gentlemen?
What the hex is you guys talking about?
Good morning, you guys. When Bob's.
I'm going up into the right.
It's been 4 years. How much longer, bro? It's been 4 years, man. Like, we've defied everything. This is, you know, crypto year is 4 times a stock market year. So we've literally been holding 16 years.
I can't stress enough to you, Richard Hart, that it is now or it's never time for Pulsechain. The entire ecosystem is now or never. We know that obstacles have been thrown your way with the SEC and now the Interpol. But July 7th is Monday. And if the SEC doesn't appeal or respond by July the 7th, which is Monday, the SEC obstacle is out the way now. And when July 8th hit, which is Tuesday, we fully expect you, Richard Hart, to get the fucking work and do what you do, which is marketing. You're the master of marketing. Whether you do it yourself or use some of them sacrifice funds that was sent to you to hire the best marketing firm in the world to make it happen for you. Either way, it's time for you to get to work, motherfucker. Get to work!
Bill collector at my door. What can Pulsechain do for me?
I believe Bitcoin is legitimate. I'm not trying to say there's not misuses like everything else, but it is a legitimate financial instrument that allows you to have maybe uncorrelated, non-correlated type of returns.
Hello, everybody. Richard Hart here. Guess who just beat the SEC in court?
The biggest winner, of course, was Hex, and we want to know, well, what the heck?
What the heck? What the heck's happening?
What the hex?
What the hex?
What the heck?
What the heck is HexGeta doing here?
You're supposed to say what the hex, HexGeta.
HexGeta.
Oh man. Okay, sorry, I wasn't
Come on.
cued on that.
Pay
What
attention.
the heck is going
Thank
on?
you.
The sound bite is collected.
Yes, it's important. Thank you for joining us, man.
Pleasure.
You guys, it's what is it? Episode 126.
Oh,
Crazy.
goodness.
Another Thursday, another fantastic show coming up. But first of all, let's look at this pump. Let's look at this breakout.
Woo! We did it.
Bitcoin. No, what is this? This Ethereum.
All right. Oh,
That's Ethereum. Where's my setup here? Here we are. Okay, let's go. Ethereum. Crazy breakout. Bitcoin. All-time highs just confirmed. 113,500.
Franks.
Dollar American.
What?
Dollars.
That's
S&P
incredible.
500. All-time highs. Recovered the whole tariff dip. You know, they call it the V. It's fantastic. Fantastic recovery. Dow Jones, with the lumber companies, as Peter says, not quite there yet, but also on the move. Broader crypto, everything is green. Look at it. Bitcoin,
did it.
Ethereum at BNB, Solana, fucking XRP even. The total crypto market cap, 3,053. The recent highs was 3.7. That's nothing but a pigeon shit away. So everything is moving, but of course not the coins that we are in, right? No.
Oh, goodness gracious.
We must have red candle days because we have to pay for some whale and his fucking adventures and new Lambos or whatever. What the heck?
HexGeta, what the heck is up with you charting I see the green and red candles flashing in front of your screen.
yeah.
What the heck is it? What the heck is this about?
Well, this is actually the Hex whale is right here next to me. He's trading
Flashing.
the Hex chart. But
Flashing the candles.
yeah, I don't
Man.
know. I feel like everyone's selling their Hex apart from me. I don't know. It's bizarre.
No, you're ensconced by two other suckers that have staked long and strong, so to speak. So we're in it for next the rest of our lives, basically. So
good company. Though.
so we can't dump like others can. So there you go.
So
But
that
you,
was
you
my,
shouldn't
my-
feel so bad.
That was my hamster rant. Are you guys feeling the same way, or
No,
are you,
I'm
are you
feeling
like,
great.
"Yeah, stop crying.
Stop crying, you stinking hamster.
Let me say hi
Maybe-
to the chat. If
Yeah,
you
say
get
hi to
nothing
the
else
chat.
to say, let's.
It's the end of the show.
I thought this was going to be a funny exchange, but never mind. Okay, so
No,
we
it
got
wasn't.
we got Avalon first. We got honorable mention by RH Max, who tried to be first but didn't quite catch it. He is looking forward to hear from HexGeta today. The Spook, number 2. DJ Dougie, number 3, in the house with the wind boss. We got a Wookiee on the spot. Come on, it's only 57 minutes left. It's very encouraging.
See, he knows the format. He knows we're a 1 hour
We're a
show.
1 hour show. Then we have Maddie Lambo here, who gave us a nice shout out today. Did you see that exchange, Papa B?
I certainly did. That we're talking about the person that got zoinked.
Yeah.
So somebody loses over almost about $12,000. Was it
incredible?
$12,000 because they decided to go in some kind of stupor. They did a Google search for their favorite exchange and connected up to the first one that they found.
Yeah,
and a cow swap. The cow swap that
fake
comes up on
version
Google.
of cow swap.
Fake version, fake back end, fake front end, fake everything, and they got rinsed. And Maddie actually called out tagged me, tagged a whole bunch of other people in the community and said, for God's sake, this infuriates everyone in the community when one of us gets rinsed. So for God's sake, if you have any fucking questions or have any inkling that something may be tickling your spidey senses, reach out to any one of us and double check.
Yes.
Before you go and do something stupid like interact with a counterfeit cow swap.
And
Counterfeit. You see what I did there? Counterfeit. Yes.
And guys are actually doing that all the time. Like I get questions like this, and people ask for, is this okay to use, and whatever. So please feel free, if you are part of the community, you can reach out to us anytime if you're not sure. We got Hex on air checking in. RH Max, you guys again. Stop talking about the Hex token. No. RTS. Oh, speaking of RH Max, he's got the conference coming up. Don't miss it.
Yes.
Monday, Tuesday next week. HexGeta also will have a little solo talk there, from what I've seen. Are you on day 1, day 2? What is your schedule?
I'm on both days.
Both days.
I'm not sure if I'll be able to make all of the talks, but I'm on like four talks right now.
Yeah,
one solo.
talks. Me too. He's has us working there. Yeah, I don't know. But that's all right. And I also have my first time ever solo situation probably.
Really?
On day 2, yes. Talking about ladder stakes. It's my favorite topic.
I only saw the first day's thing where I looked down to the bottom and I found us.
That's us on day 1, and day 2 is me solo. So that's going to lose you all the viewers, but
nice. Well, if you want me to crash and help you out, I won't, but it's okay.
It's only like 10 minutes, I think. So
10 minutes. Are you gonna break out the
not an hour.
turntables?
If it was
do
an
a little
hour,
scratching.
I would definitely need you there. Archie S. Sandy Beach checking in. Good to see you, man. That's a live crowd. Paul Sachs, you got the legend on. He says, "Yeah, we're getting to that in a minute. Believe in yourself." Jose Cuervo.
All right.
That was a painful lesson. Yes, indeed. We are, don't envy that situation. I had that happen to me once. So ever since then, hardware wallets. Could that have happened with a hardware wallet?
Yes.
Yes, doesn't matter.
Yes,
right?
Yes, absolutely can happen with a hardware. Nothing can protect you from
confirm the transaction.
No, it doesn't matter. Well, okay, so check this out. All right. So when you make connection and give an approval to anybody, you've given that approval. You've lowered the drawbridge to your beautiful castle. You've allowed the enemy to come in and slaughter you in your sleep. It's fine. You can do that. It's the case with any security protocol anywhere in the world. Lock and key, portcullis, and Bailey, whatever the fuck you want to do. Fort Knox, as long as you leave the door open or you say, right this way, your credentials are correct. Come right in. They pull a gun, hold everybody up, take all the gold out, done. Nobody can protect against stupidity.
Right.
Or, naivete. Naivete going in and taking something that's an obvious counterfeit, or breaking your own protocols of checking and double checking, or looking at the actual contract that you're interacting with and being able to decipher it on the Trezor itself. You can see what protocol you're connecting with. And before you click accept, you generally don't type in the contract address and double check it online, right? You usually just go click, done. Go, get my transaction and come on. Oh, it's all gone. So just mellow out. The heat of the bull run is going to cause you to make lots of quick decisions and want to do things. Mellow out and double check and maybe put your, I would say silo your funds into different wallets. So just in case you make a critical error like this, your test little, funds in a smaller wallet could get completely zoinked, and then you would know, oh shit, that was my test. Now I don't have to go to my vault wallet and interact with the big amount because, whatever. Also, it'll prevent you from dumping everything at once, which is always a good thing, right?
Yeah, that's the advice there, to not do things in a hurry.
Right. Well, because now you have big sandwich attack problems as well, right? And these bots, and maybe HexGeta knows from cheating all the time, that if you sent like $100,000 quick sell all at once, you may be shocked to find out that you only got like $500 worth of tokens back, and you're like, what happened? And the answer is the MEV, the sandwich attacking, all this crap. It's real now. And although sites like Richard's try to protect against this, it's not a guarantee. You can, definitely get screwed. So please, small bites, everybody, small bites at the apple. That's what I recommend.
I do find myself, oddly enough, using RH Max's site quite often, because I trust his site more than I trust myself Googling and clicking around. If like the bridge, for example, like the link, I believe it changes with the IPFS. Yeah, so
this site is excellent.
It's
the
always
bookmark,
best to use this site. It's gorealdefi.com.
GoRealDefi.com, GoRealDefi.com. RH Max, great guy.
Very good advice.
Friend of the show.
HexGeta. For the people who may not be familiar, we're going to talk about PlsCharts, your website. That's the main topic for today. I wanted you to showcase and demonstrate it yourself to the PlsCharts to the community. But maybe for the people who are not familiar, could you give like a quick rundown of your history in Hexico? When did you find out about Hex and Richard Hart, and how did you get involved with the community?
When did you lose your self-esteem and join our community?
Yeah. When did I go down that path?
That rabbit hole,
Well, so hey everyone, it's great to be here. Thanks so much, DJ Cryptomatic, for inviting me. I am kind of I studied physics, so I have kind of a maths background. Then I made a kind of a marketing agency business, been running that for the past 10 years. And now the past year or two, since I've been involved in Hex, I've been getting involved in development. So coding, making sites, especially with AI. And it's just so much easier now. Like someone who knows about crypto and has industry specific knowledge or is good at maths, you can whip up a site and detail, holders on a specific token or put a chart together. So it's been really exciting for me. I got into Hex, I guess just before Pulsechain launched. I saw Hex run up all the way from like 3 cents to 51 cents or whatever. And I didn't participate at all because I had been in crypto already since 2017, but I was kind of late to Hex. And I had already seen like, okay, wow, it's up a lot. So I didn't buy any at that point, but I did buy the retrace all the way down. Definitely bought the retrace all the way down.
So you came for the green candles and stayed for the fun, right?
I'm still here, so.
One of us.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
But my cost basis is much lower now than my initial buy. Let's put it that way. But I bought like the 50% retrace, right? 20 cents or something high.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then I sacrificed for both things that were going on, Pulse and PulseX. And when Pulsechain launched, I guess I was looking for arbitrage opportunities. And and the big one that I kind of saw, I couldn't really see any like absolute like no-brainer arbitrages there, but the big one that I saw was the Deci price. I hadn't really looked into Maximus until like I didn't mint anything. Like I missed that as well, right? And I kind of was a bit cautious when Hedron launched and everything, and same with Maximus. But when Pulsechain launched and I saw it at like half a hex, I was like, isn't this thing supposed to be like 1 at least or more? And that was kind of my introduction to that sub ecosystem in Hex. And I kind of became known for detailing the statistics around the pooled stake tokens. And it's actually quite interesting. Like I learned a lot about Hex by learning about those pooled stake tokens, because the APY kind of like doubles if there's a discount at times. So like if Deci's at a 50% discount, you're getting more APY. And so it kind of behaves like a bond almost.
Yeah.
Which was really fascinating. And I was obsessed with that for about 2 years. Still love that kind of sub ecosystem.
But isn't that cheap as chips right now? Because you say you missed it. I think now is the great time to buy these tokens if you're into that.
Well,
liquid.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I missed the mint, but I did not miss the discount at all. Like, so when Pulsechain launched,
yeah, there was a launch phase. Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
there was a launch phase.
Yeah,
Pulsechain launched, and for whatever reason, I don't know whether it was because of how the what was it, the liquidity minter bot or whatever. If it was because of that, was it because of just users on the market just dumping it? I really don't know. But I was swapping a lot of my Hex straight into Deci at like 50% discount. So I took full advantage of that. And then it went all the way up to like 1-for-1, and now it's a bit lower. But yeah, you made like, good money on your Hex, like doubled your Hex in a few months if you took that trade.
Okay.
So yeah, did that. And more recently, since the GoPulse shenanigans, I don't know whether it's confirmed or not, but they're selling Hex now as well. Everyone.
Really?
Well, that's what I hear.
They're OG guys. They're from the first year, and
well, if they still own the site, you don't even know that.
Yeah, they may not. Who knows at this point? But
it's really weird.
Yeah, so I wasn't planning on making a competitor or like an alternative or anything, because also their site was just like flawless, like really built super well. And I'm kind of just learning this stuff as I go and getting my feet wet and everything. So but then I kind of saw an opportunity to make a site, and so I bought the domain and started fleshing out the pages. And I'm quite transparent with how I work on Twitter, on X. So any little update that I get the chance or have time to work on, I publish that, and people seem to like it because there's something going on at these lows.
But this developing of like website and coding, is that your profession, or because you said marketing at first, or is that just a hobby?
It's kind of a hobby right now, but it's a bit weird. So I went away from physics, and now I'm kind of coming back to all of this maths that I did when I was in university. Kind of left physics because I discovered like online business and like working remotely, and I was like, I need to do this. So I did that for, I'm still doing that. Doing that and doing the development stuff and just learning as much as I can.
I mean, GoPuls was our go-to as well here for a very long time, when we just looked at the stats and numbers and the validators and everything. And then, but ever since their coin launched, I think they kind of slacked a bit on the site. All of a sudden, the portfolio doesn't track the staked hex anymore, or some coins are amiss, or like it's very intransparent, like what is being listed and what
they dropped B9.
Dropped B9, which is kind of our thing here. So very strange. So we're no longer really in favor of those guys. So we appreciate everybody who can come up with a similar service. So let's look at it. PlsCharts.com. Do you have a screen that you can share, and then maybe show us some of the ins and outs?
Can you see my screen?
Here we go. Here we should be live.
Yeah, there's something problematic with your screen. The values are in red. Can we make the screen?
Sorry, I will go ahead and change the app. That's just a bug.
Thank you.
There we go.
Oh, beautiful. That makes me feel better. You really did it. That's great.
Awesome. So here we go. That's our breakout. Now it's our turn. We get 100 people watching. Smash the likes, follow up. So let's go. That's the starting page, right?
So this is the homepage. I mean, it does look a lot like GoPulse. I have used their site as kind of my own testing ground to see kind of like almost reverse engineer how they built it. As I said, they built it really well, and they're definitely very advanced developers. But yeah, so I mean, this is the main dashboard. We have all of the main kind of time periods that you can look at here for the core tokens. I have Hex on Pulsechain and Hex on Ethereum. You know, putting that front and center as well. One of the unique features of PlsCharts is it's the only portfolio, it's the only website I'm aware of that tracks the COM coupon rate. So the instant rebate that you get when you max length stake, so like native stake Hex. So currently it's like 5% on, just over 5% on Pulsechain, 4% on Ethereum. I don't see that stat anywhere. That's pretty cool. Shout out to Timehaven for helping me with that. He sent me over the math in an Excel sheet. And yeah, it's got a bunch of stuff. So leagues, we have gone a bit further than I think GoPulse and a few of the other sites have gone when it comes to leagues, just because I'm a personal big fan of kind of the gamification of leagues. And that was a big draw for Hex to me as well.
Yeah, the Staker app initially, but Staker app was all about how many T-shares you have. How have you valued the leaderboards here?
So I have the T-share leagues on my other site. So if you check out Look into Maxi, you'll be able to see those. But right now I have the liquid leagues. So these are all the holders holding liquid coins right now. It doesn't include Hex stakes. It doesn't include people doing stuff with their coins, like providing liquidity or single-sided staking on third-party sites. It's just liquid holders, and defaulted to excluding the OA. And the unique thing that we've done is mapped out the number of holders per league right now for the liquid stuff. And I think people have shied away from doing that just because it's a bit of a pain to get that information. Like you have to pull page by page, and there's like 50 holders each page by page. And you have to like add time between each request to the Pulsechain API so that it doesn't give you like a 404 and like reject the request. And so it's kind of like takes a good 15-20 minutes to pull all the holders, and then you can slot them in the right leagues there. So yeah.
So what does it take to be a dolphin now in Pulse and Pulse X?
Well, we don't have it for Pulse. Pulse is a bit, I'm working on that. It's difficult to get Pulse because it's the gas token. But for all of the PRC20s, I've got that.
Okay.
So Pulse X, yeah, you're looking at 4K for a squid position, 40K for a dolphin position.
So it's 2 billion for a dolphin.
Yeah.
Right. Damn, I'm once a squid, forever squid.
You're my favorite calamari.
I'm the squid squad representing. Where my squids at?
Yeah. Yeah.
Put a 7 in the chat. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, nothing wrong with being a squid. I'm a squid in like most stuff. It's an awesome league to be in.
Good
it's
place.
The best.
Exactly.
I don't want to be anywhere else.
Yeah, and then you have some of your kind of smaller Hex alts.
Oh wow, you have that for so many coins. Okay.
I haven't done the Ethereum versions yet, but like if you're curious about Hedron, Icosa, I was looking to jump a league in like Hedron and some of these alts just because the prices are so low, but the liquidity is also very thin. Like I wanted to jump leagues in the Ethereum COM, Ethereum Hedron. Liquidity is so low. My goodness. I probably need to bridge the Pulsechain and see if it's thicker there, but yeah. Yeah, the interesting thing is I'm still working on this chart. Oh, and It does. So it doesn't have the holder numbers, but it calculates similar to how GoPulse had it. It calculates based on the total supply the leaks for pretty much all the main Pulsechain coins.
Okay.
So yeah, click on any one of them. You can kind of eyeball the leaks there. I'm working on this chart, which is basically what we were just looking at, but kind of comparing the absolute holders in each league to one another. So looking at kind of the number of dolphins that you have in ink, for example, there's a lot more dolphins. Yeah, just kind of interesting to look at. And then you can switch between percentage of total holders as well. And you do generally see like a trend. Let me activate Hedron and Com here. You do see like a trend for like any coin which has been around longer, like Hex, that's more popular than say Com. You see fewer kind of dust wallets, which is kind of what you would expect. Like there's like hundreds of thousands of Hex dust wallets. No offense if you're a crab, but like it's, you know, $3 or something, I think, at these prices. But yeah, so there's kind of like a trend where it's, you know, there's more dust wallets as you go down, and you kind of see that trend across all of the leagues as well. So fewer larger leagues for the more established coins, and then for Com, for example, you have a lot more sharks than you would expect to have, a lot more dolphins, probably just because, you know, they're less well known, and people haven't secured their positions yet. So there's that. We have our own bridge page, which details the total kind of value bridged into Pulsechain, so you can keep track of that, which is like the main metric really that we should all be caring about in terms of getting us out there to, you know, make Pulsechain a success.
But that is like today's value, or is that accumulated since launch, or what is that?
It's the amount, the value of all of the coins currently in the bridge contract.
Right. So if something would have bridged out in the
it would go down.
It will go down. Okay, fair enough.
It would go down.
Yeah.
And if the price of any of these coins, like ETH or Hex, if they go up or down, then that also affects it.
Sure.
The stable coins are probably the most concrete source of value that you can look at on the bridge.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't. So the CST, that actually just pulls the total supply of CST. So that's not in the bridge,
right.
Which I was confused. Why are my numbers different from some of the other bridge stat sites? But sometimes it's a bit higher, a bit lower. But you need to take into account all of the money that isn't bridged in through the Pulsechain bridge. So the CST guys, they have reserves 1-for-1. I don't know if they have proof of reserves or whatever, or if they just say that it's 1-for-1, but they have that kind of trust there. And then there's also like these other third-party platforms, like I think Liberty Finance, or there's other ones where it's not transparent, and I can't really see how much has been bridged through them, because they probably have their own private liquidity, which they don't disclose. But people are bridging in through those third parties. And then we also have like a lot, I think this is the first place that has detailed this, because we've always kind of saw that a lot of the pooled Hex stake tokens, the Maximus tokens, had been bridged over because there's liquidity for them, there's incentives. But this is the first place that's detailed the actual percentage that has been bridged. And for like Deci and Maxi, it's like, you know, 20% of the entire supply on Ethereum has been bridged over, which is quite cool. We've got our gas stats, so a lot cheaper than Ethereum. You know, wow. Ethereum is, you know, it's cheap as well.
What is the GUI actually? Let me just check the GUI with all this breakdown. I asked 4 GUI, but still fairly low compared to what we had seen in previous years. Yeah.
Yeah. do I have? I don't have end staking hex here, do I? I have that calculation on Looking to Maxi, but yeah, you can kind of compare Ethereum and Pulsechain end staking as well. There's a 24-hour past 24-hour chart if you're curious on how things are trending. Yeah, for recent price moves. The validator page. This is a cool page. Has this table which it does it a bit differently than GoPulse. Like GoPulse, I think they had a list of graffiti, or like metadata of what was attached to each validator. So it would be like Validator Store, right? .com or whatever, which is the name.
David
Feeder's situation.
Yeah, so that's all of his customers, right? And it's kind of less helpful to look at, I think. So what I've done is I've done it by withdrawal address, and you can get a better idea of firstly some of the pooled staking options, but then also the total unique validators that are actually participating. So yeah, there's that. And you can get a list as long as you like here.
Wow. Okay.
Vouch, I think, moved up a few positions. They were not up here when I first built this page, but they're now like the third biggest validator on Pulsechain.
Yeah, Vouch is also like liquid or sort of virtual validating, same as Validator X, which I have been testing the past 2 months, and that's working really nice. The Validator X protocol. I'm just curious here by this side that, again, we had this discussion a few weeks back, that it's only 683 unique addresses. So does that mean we have 683 people running validators?
No, 12 of them are mine.
Yeah, like it's
12 addresses.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I think it's I could be wrong here.
I mean, I was a bit shocked that this is so low. Like, I mean, the number itself, 52,000 active validators, is fantastic. But if you break it down, it's then only 683, really.
Yeah. RH Max can help us in the comments. I'm not sure if like one address can have more than one validator.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You can.
Oh, you can run
withdrawal address.
Yes, you can run like 1,000 validators on just one computer and one address.
No, you can split them, different machines on the same network, and each of them can have different addresses that they send to.
Okay, yeah, no, I get it now. So I have the validator count here. So in terms of, but a single computer, like in terms of attack surface, if the government were to like take down Pulsechain or whatever, and like raid people's houses, like a single computer could run thousands. That's right, isn't it?
I think the recommendation limit is 1,000, or
at least 1,000. It can.
So.
Yeah.
So
many people run 100. So I've heard.
Yeah.
I think it's still a good metric to look at in terms of the maximum unique people that are involved in validating.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So it's like 700 people.
Yeah. And I thought that number is like a little bit low for my, I don't know, gut feeling, but maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe that's a good number. I don't know.
I think it's like what Richard always says, it's like it's good enough, you know. It's like 700 people.
It's better than it needs to be.
Yeah, that's for sure. And on the GoPulse side, they had this spinning globe animation of where the validators are located, so you could see that it's fairly evenly spread across the globe. Of course, most in the USA and Europe, but also many in Asia, Russia, everywhere. India, in the Arabic world. So that's a good sign that it's really decentralized and not one country is in charge or whatever. So
Yeah.
in terms of government overreach,
Mhm.
that's one we want to be, spread everywhere for sure.
It was lower than I had thought, though, as
Yeah.
well. Like, I was like, oh, less than 1,000 unique people doing stuff. Yeah.
If that's how it can be looked at, I'm still not 100% sure, but that's what it says to me. And I also thought we would be more people than that. But hey,
that's enough.
It might be, RH Max help. It might be possible to have like one withdrawal address, and there's like many devices across different countries, but they all use the same withdrawal address. So then there's like, it's more decentralized than 700.
Yeah.
In that sense, yeah. Not sure.
And then there's a Toby.
And then there's a Toby. Toby is a master debater and validator.
Validate every day. How's it going, guys?
Good on you. Good on you. Yeah. Do you have multiple addresses or just one?
I came in clean for HexGeta.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good to see you, bro.
Very fresh. Good to see you. Yeah.
Clean shaven.
Yeah, I don't know about the whole validator thing. I mean, I know that I'm running some.
But do you have them on one address, or do you have like multiple address where you run them for example?
Without totally doxing my whole
Without
setup.
totally, yeah.
Yeah.
You're number 7 on this list.
Could be.
How do you know this? It's very disconcerting. So anyhow, the way I know, because it's like I did through Validator Store, I did through David Feeder, is that, basically per machine, I mean, I guess maybe there's a way to run multiple validator instances on the same machine and have it go like maybe like a mirrored thing, like on the drives or something. But my understanding is like per machine, as you set it up, you designate a withdrawal address. So if hypothetically I was running multiple machines, then I would appear to be 4 different users,
right?
Instead of one. If I had everything on one validator, or conversely, as Geta was saying, for redundancy, I could have 10 different validators running just to make sure at any given time if something went wrong. I had others making up the slack until I get the other ones back online. And all of those I could direct them all to the same withdrawal address. So, it's tricky to kind of figure out, what's behind those numbers on the screen there, as far as, is it a group of people doing that?
Yep.
True.
Can we just settle something? Sorry, Toby, this brings up a point. We were discussing in the green room a little bit about Japanese culture with HexGeta, but the pronunciation of Geta would suggest a fairly uncomfortable traditional Japanese shoe. So I know now that it's not HexGeta, it's HexGeta. That's it.
Like the chimpanzee in Tarzan.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead, Toby.
Got it. Yeah, because like in my part of the world, there's a weird meat called Geta, but it's spelled a little differently. There's an O in there somewhere, and it's like a cross between like liverwurst and sausage. It's weird.
It sounds like Get Out.
Yeah, right. Thank you. But it's a big deal in Cincinnati, Ohio, apparently.
But HexGeta continues. So we have the validator page. But if it's true what Toby just said with the 4 addresses as an example, then that would mean the 700 people are even less people. Then it's maybe only 400 people, which is
the point. Is it's enough? Are you not entertained?
Stop fighting my back.
Yeah, stop the bullshit. It's decentralized enough.
Well, no, he said it, and I said it too. It could be a situation where you actually have maybe a group of 20 people that are validating, and they have their validators set up around the world. But for whatever organizational logistics that they've decided, they have everything going into one address. Right. So there could be 10 unique validators involving 10 unique people around the globe. Okay. And then it's all going onto one address. And then maybe they have like a little LLC set up for tax purposes because of, you don't know, man. There's so many different ways to slice it.
So it could be a mix of both. Okay,
yeah, but 6 ain't bad, in my opinion. That's probably better than what's going on with Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yep. Let me bring up the portfolio now.
Yes.
Oh, we need
And,
this.
and you've got Dumpy the whale loaded, right?
I do have him loaded. Oh, it's replaced my demo with Dumpy the whale. So let's just do Dumpy the whale first, I guess.
Yes.
So these are the 5 addresses that I saw on X earlier today, which are related apparently to Dumpy the whale. But yeah, maybe I can just quickly give you an overview of the features of PlsCharts and the portfolio tracker. It has quite a few like familiar features from GoPulse, but then also there's a bunch of unique stuff as well, which I can show. So you can firstly see your total portfolio at the top of the screen. When you land on this page for the first time, you're going to see an input where you can actually, a cool thing is you can paste in many addresses into the single input at any time. So you paste it in, press plus, and it says pending. So you can do that for like 100 addresses, but yeah, it's going to take a bit to load, right?
Oh, I've got 200.
Well, you could do it with 200 as well. You're just going to blow up my server probably, but yeah, so then you can see them pending, you can give them names, and edit it how you feel. You can filter by address to kind of inspect each one. You have the ETH and Pulse toggle or combined.
Nice.
You have the advanced filters drop down, which by default has everything on, but you can toggle off liquid balances and just show hex stakes. So this dumper doesn't have any active hex stakes left. They just have liquid stuff, apparently. You can, I'll get to the hex stake section later, but you can actually check their ended stakes. For validators, say you just wanted to look at your validators, similar thing to GoPulse, but you can just add, and this just makes it load faster if you just add kind of your rough number of validators, so 5 there, and then you get an overview of the total validators, and that will be included now in your total as well, and it will appear in between the liquid balances and the hex stake detailed section. The liquid section is pretty cool. You've got the kind of unique feature here that wasn't on GoPulse, where you can sort by 24-hour change and also sort by absolute dollar change, which is obviously different depending on the size of each of your positions. Or sort by amount, sort by smallest first if you wanted to do that. You can customize the dust that you hide, right? So depending on your league or your size, you know, $100 or less may be dust, $1 or less may be dust. So you can actually go into the settings here, hide dust, and specify, you know, I want to hide everything below $10 here. And apart from this one, which doesn't have a price, they're all gone now. And if you did want to also get rid of the one without a price, you can toggle this off. I just have that on because there are quite a few tokens that I like the pooled stake tokens, which don't have a price often, because Dex Screener, if there's no trade within 24 hours, it just doesn't give you a price with the API. So you can turn that on and off, and then it's like a really clean hide dust feature. Now you don't see anything with no price and anything with below $10, right?
Well, speaking of dust, and the most important token that you must reflect, that I'm sure you don't, staked calm. Everybody loves staked calm.
Oh my!
Oh yeah.
No.
He's like, oh yeah.
No. I mean, staked calm, like the calm that you just roll over and you say, yeah, stake it 100%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd love to know what that's worth. I have no freaking clue. I just keep restaking it 100%.
I've got so much calm. Like, I may only be a PulseX squid, but I'm a batshit zillionaire in calm.
I need to be a Googleologist just to understand what the commas delineate.
So many decimals.
Yeah.
It doesn't even fit the screen.
For real, yeah. Like if we flick back to the leagues, it's like Quinn. What is it? Quinn. The one above trillion. Yeah.
Quintillion.
There you go.
Actually, no, that's quadrillion. Sorry.
Quadrillion.
So we can now confirm on the show that Dumpy the whale has dumped all of his hex, right? That's what I'm saying, because that used to be 600 million. Or is that
no? He's dumped.
Or is that dollars? Sorry.
He's
it's
dumped.
Dollars. What I'm
It
looking
was
at. Okay.
I believe it was 700 million earlier. So he has been selling.
Okay, so he's still in the process of.
I believe so. Yeah. As we've been live, he hasn't. He hasn't gone below the 6.
Yeah, he listened to my rant in the beginning.
Oh yeah, and then decided, oh, let me stop. DJ said stop
DJ
because of
said
angry
stop.
hamster energy. Yes.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's there's two parts of the site. So you have the portfolio. Something that I added was also a detective mode, but you can't right now. You can't add multiple wallets to detective mode. But say you wanted to look up one user, you can just search for their wallet. You can also do a Control or Command S and paste their wallet and click on detective mode. And that loads up a temporary kind of state on your computer that doesn't interfere with your portfolio at all and lets you detail just the Pulsechain side of a user.
Okay.
Just give it a second to load here. But
yeah, while it's loading, did you have so all of the ETH side stuff is reflected or nah?
I have a whitelist, so it's not everything. So it's not all of the ERC like blue chips like Pepe and stuff. I think I have Link, but it's a whitelist and it's a work in progress. If you have any requests, let me know.
Well, like say ETH, for example, ETH in its raw form. Yeah, okay.
We got that. We got.
There we go. There we go.
It's so if you're curious. Something I was always a bit confused on GoPulse is like what chain this damn thing is on. So ETH, and then you have the chain in the primary column here. So it's like really easy to eyeball the chain that the asset is on because we have index on both chains and assets, wrapped assets and all that. So that's pretty cool. The detective mode loaded, so you can inspect a single user's wallet. This is just like one of the top holders of Hex that I pulled up. And we have the AI analysis, which is pretty good. Like I might tweak it some more, but it gives you a really cool snapshot of their staking behavior, stakes which have ended, their current active stakes.
What?
That is cool.
Because I have it all available, so I've just included it in the prompt, so the prompt is like massive. It's just like these are all of its tokens that it holds, these are all of the stakes that it's ended, this is how long they were.
But wait a minute, it's going to analyze our portfolios and say you should have taken some profits.
Yeah,
you asshole.
No, look here what it says. It's safe to say this OG Hexagon is both disciplined and delightfully liquid. It's very eloquent
liquid. Yes,
in his speech.
Put my pinky out. Delightfully liquid. He dumps with the most extreme ferocity.
That should be read out in like a Peppa Pig kind of a voice, AI voice. Maybe we can implement that.
Yeah.
No, very cool. I like that.
So this guy, he's ended a bunch of stakes, no early end stakes, and you can kind of check that. I guess I can show you the active and ended stakes, since this guy actually has active stakes and the dumper guy doesn't have any anymore.
Yeah.
But so you can see all of the active stakes, the progress bars, like really intuitive, I think.
Okay, bro. First, you show my my validator addresses. Now you're showing all my stakes. What's going on here?
Next, we're looking at your com.
Totally.
At your com wallet. I think the dumper whale had one giant stake like 3 years ago for like crazy millions and millions of hex, but then never.
And then he did a rolling stake for a while.
Yeah, he did that for a while, and then since 24 he stopped staking, I think is what I read.
Yeah, I can see, yeah, there was like 660 million staked pre-Pulsechain launched, and that was ended in 2021.
Yeah.
And then more recently, this is maybe why he was on X or whatever. Oh yeah, he's done rolling stakes, hasn't he? They're shorter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did a bunch of those for a while. Because it was crazy. Yeah. If you look him up on, I believe it was Hex Scout, it looked like he had billions of hex that had ended. And it had, because he basically had, because he had rolling stakes, it was all adding to that number. So it was only 30 days that he staked, maybe 100 million hex, but he did it for a long, long time, for over a year or something. So it all accumulated. It was like, what the fuck? It's like, how much hex does that got?
It adds up, yeah.
But is he almost out? I mean, how many more millions do we have to split?
Hex and EHEX is
just
pretty much
hex
it.
left. Yeah, all the PLSX is sold.
Yeah. Dorsey, my lovely troll, is back after a long break.
Dorsey's hilarious.
His Papa likes to be being analyzed.
Yeah, shout out to Dorsey.
Dorsey, do better.
But it's amazing how your site has come together. I remember in the early days, it was just the front page, and now you have added all this functionality in such a short period of time. Really been working hard on this, so thank you very much. What is your plan with that all? Is that just for the community, or are you planning to monetize this maybe at some point? Or are you looking for donations if people want to support your work and the server costs?
I don't have any concrete plans right now. I'm kind of like just riding a wave of my own curiosity in terms of seeing how far I can push the products that I build.
Take it nice.
Even the portfolio tracker, like I wasn't expecting to be able to get this far with it so soon, because it was just like this big undertaking that I was kind of prioritizing some of the other pages. But then I kind of had the airdrop checker page half done, kind of like where you paste in an address and you can see how much is on Pulse and how much you have available to you as kind of a marketing thing. So I had that nearly done, and I was like, I could get this to, like an MVP for the portfolio tracker. And now it's kind of basically there. So this is what it looks like when you first paste in addresses. It loads up the screen. It detects that you've pasted in a list of addresses. It doesn't matter if there's commas. It doesn't matter if there's spaces. It doesn't matter if it's just like...
Doesn't matter if there's decreasing value.
Yeah, none of that. So let me just load up these two guys that are quite large hex holders. I think they're Toby's wallets. But
dude, again, wow, why?
Yeah. So in the settings, a cool feature... Oh, do we have to end soon? Apologies if we
it's okay. We got to get on with Toby's stuff. But
no, I prefer this personally.
Yeah, compared to the charts.
You have a bunch of green charts. Well, not our charts, but Ethan Bitcoin is looking good.
There's a lot.
We can speed run my charts. I'm happy to let him keep going. He's got some
stuff. But
we've needed this type of thing in our community. More so in recent months.
Absolutely.
I'm like lost without this type of trackability. So this is great.
Yeah.
Well, and to be honest, it's like I didn't look into this one closely because there's so many, right? Like there's so many different ones that are kind of trying to do the same thing, and some of them, maybe I think it's awesome, dude. It's like I've been messing around with it. The only thing I was kind of curious about, and you guys might have touched on it earlier, is like the Hex leagues. Did those change significantly when the OA staked all of that? Because I'm like, you have to retire my short hat.
They did. They changed a lot.
I got promoted.
They did and they didn't, because the Liquid League, whenever I've done Liquid League stuff, I've always tried to exclude the OA.
That's good, Dorsey. That's good.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Right on. And then as far as like showing like all the different coins that are out there, do you have like if someone wants you to like show a coin that they want to track, what's the best way for someone to do that or to request that from you?
You can just DM me on Twitter,
Okay.
and I'll kind of see if the coin is big
Worthy.
enough, or just because no, but like from a technical perspective, and I think this is what
B9.
like GoPulse did this as well. They had they had a white. Oh, go on.
We're programming you. We're programming it into you. I don't know why I have to like support B9.xyz. What? Who programmed that into me?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But like from a kind of a technical perspective, it's good to have a whitelist of tokens because it helps with performance, like loading performance. And I think GoPulse, they've also done that. If you leave it open-ended, it can be thousands of tokens that you're checking for. Is there any balance for this? Is there any balance for that? And it takes longer to load. And especially for the portfolio, it's something I need to work on. But people are just refreshing it constantly for any small uptick in the price. And when you reload, what happens is it like rechecks all of your balances again, and then obviously like the price and multiplies it by the price. What I've done to make it a bit faster, in case you have like tons of hex stakes, is it caches all of your hex data daily. So the first load of the portfolio is a bit longer than subsequent refreshes, but it just kind of assumes that you're not making any stakes that day, which isn't great, but it really does help with the refreshing. And then just to answer your question on the monetization thing, I mean, there is a donation address if you're keen and you're feeling benevolent. There is a donation address, but I'm not doing this for the money. The one cool idea that I thought about coming from kind of the marketing and SaaS world is something I think that would be worth monetizing. And it would have been great if GoPulse just monetized their thing, and like did it that way. I think I would have paid for it, but like having a P&L, like P&L stats by tokens held would be cool, showing like your cost basis, and that just gets really computationally difficult. Like if you've ever used tax software, you know that resyncing across all your wallets takes forever because it's checking your cost basis depending on which model you use and how much gain, like how much unrealized gain you have. And so I think that feature would be really difficult to build, and it would kind of be worthy of some kind of a premium thing. But yeah, right now everything's free. The part of the site which I'm most excited about is
I think it's if I may just interject, it's the transparency part of it, because Crispy-Man, hexfire.io, he also has his statistics site, which features a lot of charts for free. But if you want, deeper access, if you're a whale who's looking more into, market and dynamics and people tracking their behavior and stuff, then there's also a premium version with a fee. But that he has always been very open and upfront about it. And I think the controversy with GoPulse was that people found out that on every swap they sort of kept hidden fees, and to make things worse, without disclosing that, number one, and then to make things worse, bridging then allegedly, I don't know this, but people on Twitter have, tracked the wallets and apparently found out that they've been bridging out of the chain. So not even supporting the ecosystem with that fund, but really, pulling money off. And if it's the guys behind it, who I think it is, I remember having an exchange with them in the first year of Hex in 2019 on Telegram. Because they're a German group of coders, and we were talking about Hex and everything. And when Hex launched, I was already in my mid to late 40s, and they were like 19 years old, 21 years old, in that age bracket. And I just try to be nice and say, hey man, if I was your age and being involved this early in something like Hex, whatever, you've got the whole world ahead of you, financially free. You can pursue any career, anything that interests you. You can really build your life with that financial freedom. And they looked at me and were like, no, we're not really planning to ever work a day in our lives. And I was like, what? And that kind of stuck with me. Of course, trying to get rich so that they don't have to do a 9 to 5. Like, I get that. But looking at what they said back then, mixed with, the behavior that we've seen there, if that's your way to finance, you're getting by in a bear market, then that's not really cool. So now I don't know. I can't confirm any of this if it's true or not, but that's the FUD that's been out there. So bottom line, I think it's always better to be transparent, and things cost money. Server running this fucking show costs money, so everything, nothing is for free. So ask for, there are benevolent whales in the
Wait a minute,
community.
you guys are getting paid?
Not me.
There are whales that support whales that support me on my Twitch with my music shows, for example. So there are always people willing to support the good cause, but let's just be open and transparent about it. I think that's the message here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have one last question for HexGeta.
Yes. Geta.
Is there a not a Jeter? That's different.
That's different.
Not the HexGeter. It's
not HexGeter.
Okay. All right. So, is there a way? Because I've played around with it a lot. I think it's great. It's like what I noticed too on other sites, and I haven't looked into it close on yours to be sure, but I forget which one. It would show, like, if you had HSI stakes, it would show them on Pulse, but it wouldn't show them on Ethereum, or vice versa. I was like, what? It's like, that's weird. And so there's always there's something on all of them out there that I don't quite love. It's not a grand slam. Yours so far is the one I like the best. I haven't played around with Gerardo's very much, so I don't want to, cast any shade on his. Maybe his is stellar. I don't know. Probably he's pretty sharp. But the big question is, I am a person that loves to clear my browser history, make whatever assumptions you like about that on my phone, especially. And then all of your addresses that you have put into this lovely thing are gone, and then you have to re-put them in. So is there a way, kind of like with GoPulse, where there's a code where you can put that in so it brings all your shit back up and you don't have to re-put in your 47 addresses or whatever?
So actually, no. Unfortunately not. And it's kind of designed like that because if you have that cross-device ID, then some server somewhere is grouping all of your 50 addresses or 100 addresses or whatever together in a table somewhere. And PlsCharts doesn't do that. It's all stored locally on your machine in local storage. So it's 100% private. Those batch of addresses is not sent anywhere. It's kept on your machine. If you clear your cookies, then they're going to be gone. But the good thing is, if you have a list of those addresses anywhere, like in a Excel sheet, notes, whatever, it's so easy to just paste them back in. Because you can do that in one input. It's literally paste them in one input and you're done. Loads back up. Yeah, right here.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, just a tiny bit extra. So one really cool feature which doesn't exist anywhere else is using the backing value and the hex price of the pooled stake tokens. So Maxi is worth 2.1 hex, but the liquidity is so low that a lot of the portfolio trackers, they just show nothing. Oh, okay, nothing's going on here, zero value. But what you can do is just use the backing value, because I have the API. I built the API for the pooled staking stuff. So I'm using my own API to check the backing value, which changes every day as the value accrues in these pooled stuff. And you just times 2.1 times the hex price, and it uses that instead of the market price, which is super awesome. So you see the price go, let me do the before and after. So you see for Maxi, for example, it go on Pulsechain from 5.8K, and then toggle on, use backing price, and it jumps up to, where are we? It's not ordered by amount, is it? Okay, 12K, so almost double. So that's really cool, and that's reflected in your total portfolio value as well. The hex stats detail section is also awesome. I love it. So it shows your totaled stake stats across solo and pooled stakes. It doesn't do HSIs yet, but it should be trivial for me to add that. I will add that as a kind of a third part here. It's on the laundry list of things to add. Shows the total stake value, the T-shares across both chains, the HEX principal plus yield, native stake plus pooled stake. So you get a visual of that, the average length. Shows you then also the total HEX value. So like the percentage that you have liquid, the percentage you have staked, including all the pooled stuff. This is the part that I love the most about the whole thing, because this is what I really care about, being kind of like a, hexagon. So, and the leagues, you get the leagues for each coin. So you can kind of, see where you're tracking for the leagues. And something else, which isn't on any other portfolio tracker, is any wrapped coins from Ethereum get added to your native version balance, and you can see
there is more.
So this 3.9 million wrapped EHEX, it doesn't show the league. Why? Because that 3.9 is going to be added to the 90 million on ETH, and when you click on the league, you're going to see 94 million and your correct league.
Cool. Nice.
Awesome. Yeah. So that's it.
Well done.
Amazing.
One request.
Yeah.
One request while I have you in the Validator. One thing I do like about GoPulse, there's lots of things I don't like, but it's like, that was my go-to for a long time, no pun intended, is if you do have validators, it would actually include that in your list of assets down below. So that was always kind of interesting for me, because it's like I know the approximate dollar value of what I sacrificed to get that pulse that I then use to validate. So then I can use that as a marker. It's like, dude, am I break even yet? Like,
we got that.
What I say. Yeah. It's so when you look at your pulse balance, it would show your validators as a separate line.
We have that. Yeah, it's not in the liquid balance, but it's just underneath the liquid balance table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. I just didn't scroll down far enough.
And are you also picking up the vouch protocol from and the Validator X, like the liquid staking, or just the actual real validators? That could be another addition.
That's a good idea.
If that's at all possible.
I heard Coffee talking about the V pulse and all that stuff.
Yes, that's coming too.
I'm not
Yeah,
very familiar with all that stuff, but it seems like people are doing it.
Yeah. Good, cool. Yeah, let me add that to my list.
And Crispy Man has a lot of info on that. He's probably a good person to get in touch with if you need anything there. I would say. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I think DJ, you should be prepared here with the card, because we're coming up on a segment that we lovingly call
TA with Toby.
Before we begin, Toby,
I gotta share my screen. That'll help. Huh?
Toby,
he's got enough.
Toby.
Yes.
This is a beautiful look for you. This clean shaven Toby is spectacular.
Yes.
You look younger. And you know what? What's most important about this? For everyone in the chat, you can vote whether or not you like it or not. Doesn't matter to me anyway. But I guarantee you that Somi is going to call this as a bottom signal. We're ready to soar because Toby shaved his stash.
That was an Easter egg. Why are you blowing it?
Blowing your cover. But actually, all participants today here are clean shaven. So
that's right.
I really
above the waistline.
Quick funny story about this. Quick funny story about the stash. I had a little bit of a rollover. Right. Here's the deal. When you have a beard, it makes your face look longer, which is slimming. Yes. Everyone knows vertical lines slimming. When I shave the beard, I feel like Charlie Brown. Right. So with the stash, at least when I had a little bit of curve over, not like the full Fu Manchu, because that's a little, Freddie Mercury too gay, but just gay enough where it was just around the corners of my mouth.
Just gay enough.
A little vertical there, and it accentuated silly facial expressions. That's how I was rocking it. And the fiance was like, well, can you just straighten it? Can you just cut those little pieces off? And I did it. It was the most ridiculous thing. I was full horizontal. My chin disappeared somehow. My face got rounder. I'm like, God damn it. And so I didn't like just the straight across mustache. So then I just shaved it down to the Hitler. And I'm like, okay, do you like this?
Stop it.
Like that one? So that was funny
outta
for about
here.
30 seconds, and then that came off, and then now
30 seconds. You goose stepped around the condo for.
no, I didn't go that far.
No.
So this is pretty cool. This chart that's on your screen
Breaking
right now.
out. We're in
ladies
the
and
green
gentlemen.
box.
Because
Yes!
guess where we are? Not green box. Let me zoom out for you so you can see the
At the
significance
top of the
this.
channel.
Top of the channel, boys. All right, so we got
Oh,
this
no.
big white ascending parallel channel that's been going on since, trust me, like 2012 on Bitcoin,
Oh,
right?
no. That
And
means we're reversing.
well, just shut it. Okay, so here's the deal. So we hit it in December. Trump got elected, super crypto bullish signals, whatever. We did that. We had a nice little pullback because, traders going to trade. And then we had the very, 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 predictable run up at the inauguration, which is that little peak right there that hit where? Directly on the white line. And then the big pullback. And then we had this descending parallel channel inside that we thought might be a bull flag, perhaps. It pulled back the full height of this channel and actually wicked below it a bit when we had that big pullback down to about 74 or 75K. Now we came back into the channel, just raced right through it, used the top of the channel for support now for since mid-May. And then finally, as I posted, and we're breaking above the channel right now as we speak. So this is pretty fucking cool. So we are not only at the white channel, we are wicking above it for the first time ever.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Ever. Now, we'll see. We'll see what happens because this is key. Oh, we're already going back down. Damn it, I spoke too soon. All right, so it's we're still above the channel, but you can see here that little vertical line that's showing the price. It's kind of bobbing up and down. So we actually, when I started yapping, we were 116.6, and we
wow, that's a new all-time high.
115.9.
Yes.
So it's coming back down to the top of that channel. So it'll be interesting to see if it holds there and we go, or if it's a little bull trap and we roll over and come back down in here somewhere, maybe test some other structures and then try again. It would be really unusual. I mean, it's already highly unusual that we're above the channel at all, but it would be highly unusual for us to just go in one go, so to speak. Usually you come above it, you come back below it, you come above it again, you use it as support, and then you go. So we'll see what happens, but this is super exciting that we got Bitcoin above 116K. And we're dropping back already 115.7. Yeah,
I'm calling it 130 right now.
So yeah, so that's
When
kind
we
of
started the show, we were
this.
113, so we moved up another 2,000-3,000. So that's pretty cool.
So before I do the RH stuff, I'm going to jump straight to Ethereum. We normally do that at the very end, but I'm just curious kind of what it's doing while Bitcoin's making its push. Yeah, we're at 2860. So that is almost above this previous wick we had back here on June 9th. June 9th, we topped at 2880. So the high for this 3-day candle that we're currently looking at is 2878. So we didn't quite break the previous high. So, that's going to be key, right? Because anytime it had some resistance before, you got to bust through that again. The full measured move of this little orange parallel channel here would get us up to about just over 3,000, 3,100, right around in that area. And then much like we had on the Bitcoin chart, we had this little slanty line, which was the flagpole, if you will, if this was a flag. So if this is a bull flag and it does that full move, then you're looking to get above its ascending orange channel, which it's been in that for quite a long time, not as long as Bitcoin's, but still it's significant. We rejected back here in March of 24, rejected again in May of 24, rejected in December of 24 numerous times. So to get above this mark, which is around 4,200, is going to be key. So very much like we're at that level now with Bitcoin at around 115K, and we need to get above that and stay above that and find a support. That's really the big one for Ethereum. But as history will tell us, Bitcoin usually shoots its shot. Ethereum is usually lagging maybe a month behind. Is it the same this time? Is it different this time? I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's kind of the same and kind of different. But we're going to see how it plays out. Ethereum's trying to make its push. It's right now 2880. So it is exactly at the previous all-time high here, or not all-time high, the previous high back in June 9th. So if we can sustain this breakout and get to 3,100, I would expect a little bit of a pullback, a cooling off period. But it could be like Bitcoin and be straight up, because Bitcoin, I mean, look at this. This is crazy. It's like wham, just go time. I mean, that's on a daily candle, and the range is from 111,000 was the open to 116. It's up to 116.2 again. So yeah, that's exciting shit. And bodes well for the alt season we've all been eagerly anticipating. So going on over to HEX, HEX, the baby boy, the original, the firstborn son, Richard's favorite, the near and dear. It's the firstborn. Come on, who can fade HEX? So this chart goes all the way back to the all-time high, and it goes all the way back to the all-time high for the top of the channel. For the bottom of the channel, if you recall, this is back during the Pulse sacrifice phase. So we had that big run up to that, the anticipation of it. So that's pretty significant levels there. And this channel has played out, it has just confirmed itself over and over and over again for, 4 years now. Big ride along the bottom side, came up to the midline, pulled back up here, chop, 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 using the midline as support. And we're trying to go. Can't quite get there yet. I know we've got a big, the Dumpy the whale hanging out there. So people are anticipating, what's this guy going to do? I need some people that are better with liquidity and bonding stuff to weigh in on this. I tagged Axis, I tagged Crispy, Crickets. They didn't give me anything. My thinking is that obviously the price action we're seeing, because everybody's watching Dumpy, which I think is a hilarious name for him, but Dumpy the whale, is that nobody has seen him sell any of that stuff yet. So all of this price dip that we're seeing are people anticipating him dumping, right? So to me, I feel like that's a very risky move, because what they're doing is they're selling it, thinking that when he dumps, they're going to be able to swoop in there. If you look at Pulse and you look at PulseX when he dumped those recovered really, really fast. The trader in me is salivating. The reasonable 50-something-year-old man is saying, don't take that chance, because to buy that wick you're going to have to, it's a long shot to be able to get that wick if and when he dumps.
But that's the move, right? Because the candle down was not the actual whale. It was other people front running
currently
to have some dry powder. Now waiting for him to sell so that they can buy that.
Right. I mean, ideally, it's and there's V3 options and stuff, so you can put some stuff in maybe to have a better chance, because we don't have limit orders. Hey, Richard, if you're listening, dude, please, God, for everything holy, give us limit orders on PulseX, please. So, so limit orders will help that volatility. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe that's part of the reason it's not there yet. Maybe he likes that it's so volatile and so illiquid. So, anyhow. So we'll see how this plays out. But right now we're rejecting off the 21 EMA, trying to get to the top of this internal orange channel that we've been in all the way since back in November of 24. So much like Ethereum and Bitcoin, we need to get past this mark, up to the 55 EMA, which put us about 0.002, then the 100 EMA, which is 0.028. And then if we can get the full measured move, I was anticipating maybe we break out mid to late July. So, if we break out of this by next week, maybe we can get a run up to the top of our white channel, which would put us around 0.005. And then the full measured move, if we break out of our white channel, gets HEX up to about 7 cents, 6.5, 7 cents. So that would be nice. And of course, that doesn't mean that's the tippity top. It's that's the measured move. So after that, who's to say how high I could go? Probably some cooling off in there would be my anticipation, but we'll see. So moving over to PHEX real quick. PHEX, similar situation. It's been in this downward sloping parallel channel. It tried to get to the top. It got a big rejection down. It seems like the PHEX has taken a bigger hit than EHEX over the last few days. This is on the weekly. Go down to the 3-day. Yeah, so we got some indecision candles here for the last 2 3-day candles. Wicking up to its 21 EMA at about 0.006. Can't quite get there. So we pulled back. We'll see what's happening. A lot of indecision here for the aforementioned reasons. Dumpy the whale has got everybody kind of on guard. So EHEX and PHEX are not gonna reflect the bullishness that I think is coming, right? So, because people are a little fearful of getting into that one and getting dumped on. But I don't think long-term it's really going to matter. I think there's going to be a big wick down when he finally dumps, and we're going to get right back up there. So that's my opinion. And the other question about Hart's Law and stuff is if he's selling PHEX and he's selling it for Pulse to bridge out and sell on the east side like he did with his PulseX, how much does that buffer the downward move of PHEX, right? Because he's selling it for Pulse, which is its biggest pair. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. That's where I wanted Crispy or Geta. If you know anybody that wants to weigh in on that, please let me know. Because it's my instinct is that it should buffer it. EHEX is the one that's a little riskier. because he can sell that one directly for ETH, right? And so that one could suffer a lot bigger dip, a lot more damage to the chart if he just
also the liquidity is even lower,
and the liquidity is lower. But I mean, that works both ways, so it wouldn't be that hard for us for people to get it back up. But there's no buffering mechanism like I'm speculating that there is with the P-Hex Pulse pair. So I don't know. We'll see. So speaking of Pulse, moving on over, we got a little bit of a mini breakout here of its descending white channel. We had this nice little uptrending yellow channel for a while. We made the full measured move of that down. We broke that back in the beginning of June, tried to get back in it, failed, rolled over, came down pretty much to the tick on its measured move down to around 4022. Then we round nice. Everybody loves a round bottom, right? Nice round bottom. Came up to the top of this descending orange. I'm sorry, I'm an old dirty old man. Nice round bottom coming back up to the top of this descending white channel, and we are actually trying to break above it. Haven't quite got up to its 21 EMA, which would put us about 4 zeros and a 2.9, but we're trying. So this is looking real promising at this point.
It's impressive looking at the sell pressure. I mean, the Pulse and PulseX dumping was way more than the Hex, you know.
Yeah, so I mean, it's good. You know, the recovery has been remarkable on this, considering how much
self-pressure.
Exactly. So I'd be looking for us if we can hold about where we're at now. That would be great. If we can close the daily on that. This is a 3-day, and where are we on the daily? We already closed yesterday above it, which is nice. If we can stay above it and start using it as support, which is what it's kind of looking like on the daily, we got a little dragonfly doji. So we wicked down to it and came back up. So if we can close the daily here in the next 2.5, 3 hours, whatever it is, that would be bullish. And then the measured move on this, I don't have a channel or I don't have the measurement in here. So if we're going to do the full measured move of this channel, say it with me. When things break out of a channel, they move the height of the channel, right? So the height of this channel is that line I just drew. If we get the breakout, the full measured move of that breakout actually gets us beyond all of the EMAs, the 55, the 100, and even the 200, and gets us back up here to a previous horizontal resistance at about quadruple 039, quadruple 04. So that would be really nice to try to get us back into some previous structure and work our way higher. Obviously, we got the big daddy orange channel that we've been in forever since the beginning on Pulse. So if we can start just making some structure and working our way up here and getting a breakout. Obviously, this breakout didn't happen, and that was a little overzealous. But, if by the end of the year, we get up here or sooner, it's hard to say. Q4 is usually a lot of times when you're getting those big blow-off tops for this, for Ethereum and Bitcoin, Bitcoin in particular. So we'll see how that happens when we get into Q4, not too long from now. Sorry, Summer, you're fading. But yeah, the full measured move on that larger channel would get us up to about 7 to 7.5 times SAC. So, not bad. Again, is that the tippity top? I don't know. It's a blue sky breakout at that point. So it's hard to say how much higher it could go. I'd say I would anticipate it's going way higher than that arbitrary SAC number. Moving on over to Pulse X really quickly. Again, big descending orange channel that we've been in since the very beginning of Pulsechain. If we look at the internal structures here, we had a nice white ascending parallel channel working our way up. Didn't quite get to the top of the orange channel. We started to roll over back in May, came to the bottom of the white channel, ended up making the breakdown of the white channel, wicked below it a little bit for a few days down here in the beginning of July. But now in this new structure, I believe that DJ pointed out, this descending yellow channel, we are actually above it and forming what looks to me like maybe a bit of a bull flag.
Yes.
So this is kind of exciting, or a bull pennant, because it's like a little bit of a triangular shape. So, if we were going to just quickly on this, if we were going to try to say that that's what's happening here, and we get that break here, then that takes us curiously right up to the 200 EMA, which is about 4028. So whatever it is, the full measured move of the breakout we've already, confirmed here, we haven't got there yet, and that is 4023. So that's where I'd be looking for resistance. That also coincides with the 55 EMA. So I'd look for us to try to make a push there. If we can push through that and keep going and make the bull flag move all the way up to the 200 EMA, that's 4028, and then try to get up into these bigger structures and get up to the top of this orange channel. If we want to do the same thing and give it till the end of the year to break out, we can move this big bad boy down here to let's say September, because if you recall, the all-time high for EHEX was September of 21. So let's say we make, we get our little channel movement up, get some structure built, and we finally get our breakout in September and it runs, then you're looking at about, curiously, around 6.5 times SAC rate on PulseX as well. So those are some bullish upside targets. So we'll see how that goes, but things are looking pretty tasty. Man, trader's wet dream on ink. The baby boy of the family, the clown. Everybody loves ink. But dude, look at this. Just ding, 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 ding. I mean, as far as just a rolling pattern for people to be selling tops and bottoms, it's like, if I was a younger man, I would have been left out of this. But I did not, nonetheless. So, but what's really nice is you can see how we've had this consistent ascending support along the bottom of this channel. But we've been bouncing. We can't get above that $2 mark. It's like, that's the one. It's way up here, So we'll get just above $2 and we get pushed back down to around $1.30, back up to $1.70. So right here in this choppy zone, it's been $1.70 down to $1.30, up to $1.60 in the 30s, $1.60, $1.40. So it's, the trend is gradually working its way up, which is bullish in my opinion. And I could see us getting above this 100 EMA at $1.56. The big push is going to be the 200 EMA, which is $1.75, and then ultimately up here at the midline, which is getting precariously close to that $2 mark that we just not been able to break out of for a long, long time. So if we can get some sustained movement on that, get above $2, the top of this white channel, if we can ever get up to the top of it again, you're looking at $2.50, $3, depending on how long it takes us to get there. If we can really get some explosive, parabolic move here to get to the top of its yellow channel, the measured move on that gets us up to around $40 ink. Wow. So, I mean, super bullish. I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not sure exactly where we're going to end up. It all looks like the trend is up on pretty much everything, with some suppression on EHEX and PHEX because of dumpy. Once that's off, I mean, in my opinion, the sky's the limit. I mean, things are looking good. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Yay.
Man,
Nice.
what an information-packed show today. Don't anyone complain about content here on the What the Hex show.
What the
All
hex?
right. So HexGeta, thank you so much for showing us the PlsCharts.com. That's the website. You have the last word. What is best for people to get in touch with you if they want to get in touch, if they have suggestions, if they have questions about the site?
Yeah, again, thanks for having me. Just hit me up on X, comment on any of my posts or DM me. I'm quite receptive to feature requests and things like that. So find me there.
Awesome. But thanks again for putting in all that work and all that free time that this has probably been eating up. But many people really do appreciate the site.
Thanks for building what we needed and what we
pretty
wanted.
Yeah, it's great, dude. Love it.
And
Congrats.
before we go, I have this comment pinned here from Duke of Booze. Funny you should say that about these What the Hex T-shirts. I have a deal in the works currently with the Pulsican-Store guys. So Pulsican-Store.com, they're currently working on What the Hex T-shirt. So whoever wants a What the Hex T-shirt.
What the hex would you want a What the Hex shirt for?
Yeah,
they're gonna be much better than these.
Yeah, much better.
These are not good. Yes.
Much smarter, and this is just nothing. But so stay tuned for more news on that. We'll surely cover it on the show. Pulsican-Store.com. Yes.
Quick bull signal. We got a bull signal.
Yes.
Ross Hex is back in the chat.
Wow.
He was
Ross
my
is
troll.
back. Oh yeah, he
He was my troll years ago,
Oh
and
my
Ross
God,
Hex is back.
Ross. Thank you
Hey
so
Ross,
much.
tell your mom I said hi. Love you, bro.
Sorry,
I'll be over
Ross,
for the meatloaf.
This
on,
is your
next Tuesday.
avenue. Forget about the hangout. This is every Thursday. You might want to tune in 1:45 to 5 p.m. Eastern, and you can let rip, my brother. So good to see Ross Hex back. That's also a bull signal. all the fair weather stream hexagons, right, are coming back when the candles are green. So that
let's fucking go.
Yeah, let's go. It's a hopeful, it's a bullish signal. All right, we got 220 people watching live. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Please smash the likes, follow up, all that good stuff. And we're out. We see you guys on the next one. Salute. Outro.